Our first speaker is someone who personally inspires me in my studies at LMU. And I'm not just saying that because he's one of my professors. I say that because he is the founder and head of the Institute for Religious Tolerance, Peace, and Justice. It's his dedication to foster understanding and dialogue between all religions that is the driving force behind not only this interfaith march, but now dozens of interfaith marches in countries around the world. Everyone, please welcome Dr. Arik Greenberg.
Thank you so much, Peter, for that introduction. I want to welcome everyone to the 5th Annual Interfaith Solidarity March, Los Angeles. This is the first march that we've had virtually since our inception in 2016, so this is new ground for us. But we've come a long way since we first began to plan our marches in the fall of 2015, and we wanted to ensure that we honored the work that we've done and kept marching despite the COVID-19 pandemic. Our marches have always seemed to get better every year, even when the conditions present challenges. In 2018, we joined with a larger community of marches called the Interfaith March for Peace and Justice, or IMPJ. And I know there's a lot of alphabet salad here, so bear with me with all these letters. The IMPJ, which at the time had 18 autonomous member marches across the US and around the globe. The following year, we proudly became the corporate umbrella for that community and subsequently helped spearhead 24 simultaneous member marches around the world in 2019. Through this collaboration, I have met and worked with some incredible people, and I would like to thank them for partnering with us, helping to make this the largest coalition of interfaith marches in the world. Now this year, in spite of the pandemic, some of our member marches abroad have chosen to plan for an in-person march since their countries have recovered more quickly than ours, but they are still practicing good social distancing. For instance, in Lilongwe, Malawi, they are having 2 separate marches in different locations so as not to have too high of a concentration of people in one place. Uganda, Pakistan, India, and others are also coming together in person as they are able. You viewed several recorded messages of encouragement and greetings from some of their leadership prior to the start of this program today. And I hope that you'll send them our regards and your wishes and your love and support. Now, while other locations have decided to go virtual, some locales found it tedious to deal with the technology of moving their marches to an online platform, and so they are joining us from their locations for one big combined event. The more the merrier, I say. And one group in our family, the longest running interfaith march in the United States, the Philadelphia Interfaith Walk for Peace and Reconciliation, already had their annual event this spring through Zoom and paved the way for virtual activism during the earliest stages of the pandemic, demonstrating that you can still work for peace even while practicing social distancing. And thus many of their members will be joining us for our event today, and I want to welcome them. Specifically among them will be Aziz Nathu, who is one of the key members of the Philadelphia group, who will share a few words with us about the importance of our global interfaith community. Therefore, I want to welcome our friends from Philadelphia, Ventura County, Wyoming, and many other places around the United States, specifically who are joining us by Zoom to march with us here in Los Angeles, virtually so. We have an impressive lineup of speakers and performers today sharing their message of peace and hope with you. During these times, some may find it a little bit but we have enjoyed their support and their presence every year since the start of our march. And since we are focused on peace building and reconciliation, we felt the need to ensure that certain crucial voices be included in the discussion. A lot of people have worked very hard on this event, and I am so proud to consider them friends and teammates. I want to thank them all for making this event happen. There were also many people who offered to speak today, and unfortunately, we were not able to include everyone in our lineup of speakers. And so we thank them for their kind enthusiasm, and we have invited them to be on camera here with us today as panelists, even though they're not speaking. And I'd like to thank them specifically and recognize them along with our guests of honor, some of whom are speakers from previous years. I would like to acknowledge and recognize Michelle Koch, who is the Executive Director of the Muslim-Jewish Solidarity Committee, Manak Bujwala, a priest of the Zoroastrian faith, one of the oldest monolithic religions founded by the Iranian prophet Zarathustra, Ibrahim Naim of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, who is Director of Voting Initiative and represents the Alliance for Absolute Justice, and lastly, LAPD Captain Patricia Sandoval, Olympic Area Commanding Officer, who spoke for us in 2019. So thank you to all of them for being present and supporting us this year and in previous years. Without further ado, I would like to introduce Aziz Nathu, a key member of our partners in Philadelphia, and I hope that you all enjoy the program of uplifting and inspiring speakers and performers we have put together for you.